Picture yourself on a deserted, windswept beach in the year 1590. The air is thick with mist and the only sound is the distant crash of waves against the shore. The world feels untouched, ancient, and full of secrets. You are John White, governor of the English Roanoke Colony, finally returning after 3 long, agonizing years away. The journey has been perilous, and your heart pounds with anticipation and worry as you step onto the unfamiliar sand, searching the horizon for any sign of life. You expect to find your family waiting for you, perhaps waving from the edge of a thriving settlement. You imagine laughter, the bustle of daily life, and the promise of a new beginning in this distant land. But instead, you're met with an eerie, unsettling silence. Over 100 men, women, and children, your friends, your loved ones, have vanished without a trace. The village is empty, the air heavy with loss. The houses are not destroyed by violence or fire. Instead, they have been carefully dismantled, as if the inhabitants left in an orderly fashion, taking what they could and leaving behind only the skeletons of their homes. There are no signs of struggle, no blood, no graves, no bodies. The ground is undisturbed, the silence absolute. It's as if the entire colony simply melted away into the mist. Desperately, you search for any clue, remembering the secret sign you agreed upon with the colonists before you left, a Maltese cross to be carved if they were in danger or forced to leave against their will. But there is no cross, no sign of distress. Then, carved deep into a weathered post, you find a single cryptic word, Croatoan. The letters are rough but unmistakable, a message left behind, but what does it mean? Croatoan is the name of a nearby island home to a friendly Native American tribe who once aided your people. Could your colony have sought refuge there, hoping for safety and a new start? Hope flickers in your heart. Maybe your family and the others are alive, waiting for you just across the water. The possibility fills you with determination to find them. But as you prepare to set out, a violent storm brews on the horizon. Your exhausted, fearful crew refuses to risk the treacherous journey to Croatoan Island. The sea becomes impassable and time slips away. With a heavy heart, you are forced to leave, the mystery unsolved. Your family and friends lost to the unknown. The pain of not knowing will haunt you for the rest of your days. You never return to America. The land that once held so much hope now fades into the distance, shrouded in mist and sorrow. The word Croatoan remains, carved in wood, echoing through history as the colony's final haunting message, a riddle with no answer. For centuries, the fate of the lost colony will puzzle historians, inspire countless theories, and become one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. The story of Roanoke settlers is left to speculation, legend, and the imagination of those who come after. Did they join the Croatoan tribe, perish in the wilderness, or vanish by some other fate? Their disappearance becomes a tale passed down through generations, inspiring books, documentaries, and fireside stories that captivate the curious and the brave. The silence of Roanoke lingers, more chilling and profound than any answer could ever be. The empty village stands as a monument to the unknown. The lost colony's story begins and ends with a single unanswered question that echoes through time. What happened to the people of Roanoke? The answer remains lost in the mist, waiting for someone, someday, to uncover the truth. The Lost Colony isn't just a story, it's a haunting chapter in the origins of America, a riddle that has echoed through the centuries. It's America's oldest unsolved mystery, a puzzle that has fascinated generations and continues to spark debate and curiosity. In 1587, more than 100 men, women, and children vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a single cryptic clue carved into wood, the word Croatoan. These were real people, pioneers with families, hopes, and dreams, who risked everything to build a new life on the edge of the unknown. Their disappearance is a ghost story rooted in fact, not just legend or folklore. The silence of their fate is chilling. The lack of evidence, no bodies, no graves, no clear signs of struggle, is what makes this mystery so haunting and enduring. All that remains is a single word carved in desperation or hope, a message lost to time. For centuries, historians, archaeologists, and amateur sleuths have tried to piece together the puzzle, sifting through clues and theories. The story endures because it taps into our deepest fears, the unknown, the possibility of being lost, and the terror of being forgotten by history. Roanoke stands as a symbol of the immense risks and uncertainties faced by early settlers, who braved the wilds with little more than hope and determination. It reminds us just how fragile life was on the edge of a new world. where every day was a struggle for survival against the elements and the unknown. The mystery of Roanoke is like a blank canvas, inviting endless speculation, wild theories, and passionate debate. Was it a tragedy of starvation and loss, or a story of survival and adaptation? Did they perish, or did they find a new home among local tribes? No one knows for sure. The truth remains just out of reach, shrouded in the mists of time. The story of Roanoke is woven into the very fabric of American history, taught in classrooms and retold in books, films, and legends. It's a tale of ambition, loss, and the enduring search for answers. A reminder that some mysteries may never be solved, but will always inspire. The cold case remains open, waiting for the truth to surface as new generations take up the search for what really happened. Roanoke's legacy is the question it leaves behind, a mystery that continues to captivate, challenge, and haunt us to this day. Over the years, many theories have tried to explain Roanoke's fate. Some say the colonists were killed by hostile tribes or the Spanish, but there's no evidence of violence. Others believe they starved or died of disease, yet that doesn't explain the careful dismantling of the settlement or the Croatoan clue. A more hopeful theory: the colonists chose to leave, seeking a better life elsewhere. They may have split into groups moving inland or south. The most enduring idea is that they joined the Croatoan tribe, their allies. This would explain the lack of distress signals and the single word left behind. If true, the colonists didn't vanish. They adapted and survived. For centuries, this was just speculation. But what if there's real evidence to support it? The search for proof would change the story from disappearance to survival. And that's where the Croatoan Project begins. For years, searches focused on Roanoke Island, but found little. Archaeologist Mark Horton and historian Scott Dawson asked, what if Croatoan was a literal clue? They launched the Croatoan Archaeological Project on Hatteras Island, home of the Croatoan tribe. Locals had found European artifacts mixed with native ones, evidence of possible cohabitation. The team dug carefully, looking for signs of English daily life among the Croatoan. They weren't searching for a lost fort, but for subtle traces of integration. The project marked a shift, following the colonists' own clue, not just legend. Their goal was to find proof that Roanoke settlers survived by joining the Croatoan. The results would challenge everything we thought we knew. The Croatoan Project uncovered remarkable evidence. They found German pottery, a rapier handle, and a metal hook, items used by English settlers. Most striking was a writing slate and lead pencil, tools of literacy, found in a native village. These weren't trade goods, they suggested English people lived there. Even more telling, hammer scale, the byproduct of European blacksmithing, was found on Hatteras. Native Americans didn't use this technology. The evidence pointed to English artisans working alongside the Croatoan. Artifacts were mixed with native items, not isolated. This suggests true integration, not just a brief visit. The colonists may have survived by merging with their allies. The mystery was shifting from disappearance to adaptation. The dirt was finally giving up its secrets. Roanoke's story was being rewritten. Among the finds, one artifact stood out, a piece of sword furniture decorated with a Tudor rose. The Tudor rose was the symbol of England's ruling dynasty. To find it in a native village was astonishing. It likely belonged to someone of status from the colony. This suggests the colony's leaders may have joined the Croatoan, not just ordinary settlers. The artifact hints at a story of alliance, not just survival. English and Croatoan lives may have blended, creating a new community. The Tudor rose became a symbol of this hybrid identity. One artifact can't solve the mystery, but it adds a powerful piece to the puzzle. Roanoke's fate may have been more about adaptation than loss. Hatteras isn't the only possible answer. Another team searched inland at Site X, guided by a hidden fort symbol on John White's map. Archaeologists found European pottery from the Wright era, different from Hatteras finds. This suggests the colonists may have split up, some going to Hatteras, others inland. The story may not have a single solution. Roanoke settlers were individuals, making desperate choices. Some may have joined the Croatoan, others tried to build a new settlement, and some may have been lost at sea. The Site X evidence complicates the narrative. The mystery is likely a tapestry of many fates, not just one. Each new clue adds depth to the story. Roanoke's disappearance may have many answers. The search continues. Despite new discoveries, the Roanoke mystery isn't solved. Centuries of storms and farming have mixed artifacts, making dating difficult. Skeptics argue the European items could be from later or acquired through trade. Much evidence still awaits peer review and scientific confirmation. No English graves or houses have been found, just tantalizing clues. The puzzle is incomplete, but the search has never been more promising. Each find raises new questions about identity, survival, and legacy. The story of Roanoke is a living mystery, always evolving. The past is waiting to be uncovered. Roanoke endures because it's a story of hope, a hope that drew people across a vast and dangerous ocean, searching for a new beginning in an unknown world. But that hope collided with harsh reality. The colonists' mysterious disappearance lets us imagine tragedy, the struggle for survival against impossible odds, or even the possibility of cultural fusion. The fate of Roanoke is a blank canvas, inviting us to fill in the gaps with our own fears and dreams. Recent discoveries, however, are shifting the narrative from one of total loss to one of adaptation and resilience. Archaeological evidence and oral histories suggest that some colonists may have survived by joining native communities, forging new bonds and learning to live in unfamiliar ways. This challenges the old story of inevitable conflict, hinting instead at moments of cooperation, shared knowledge, and the creation of new identities. Roanoke's enduring mystery invites us to see history as something living, dynamic, and unfinished. Each new clue, whether a fragment of pottery or a faded map, brings us closer to understanding the real people who faced extraordinary circumstances, making choices that echo through time. We may never know every detail of their fate, but the ongoing search connects us across centuries, reminding us of their resilience and adaptability. The story of Roanoke is an invitation to reflect on America's complex origins and to question the simple stories we tell about the past. Roanoke's legacy is not just in its disappearance, but in the haunting questions it leaves behind. The search for answers is a journey worth taking, because it reminds us that the past is never truly lost. It's waiting to be found, piece by piece. And so, the mystery of Roanoke lives on, inviting each new generation to wonder, to search, and to imagine.